Hi everyone. Um, we are here at week. What week are we at? Week 5. I'm gonna go over here. What's going on? Okay, that didn't let me go on, so I'm gonna go to Chrome. Okay. I'm gonna start off by asking my usual questions. If you got any questions for me, anything I need to be aware of. Okay. Very good. Going to module. And this week we're working on our letter to the editor, and also what I'm introducing you to the research project. So let's just start off with the required readings. Many of you, I realized that recently it dawned on me that you don't go to modules first, you go to assignments first. So then you don't do these things in order. But modules is where you should start, just in case you're lost, because it starts with the required readings. And we're dealing with chapter 7 and 8 with the sympathizer, and now we haven't done much with this book. But again, keep in mind that you need to keep reading it, and then if anything came up, any question you have about this book, you totally need to you should really should let me know. I think this book is quite daunting and difficult to understand, but so far I haven't gotten any question from anyone yet on this book. The reason I said that is we have to write our midterm exam and our final. No, that's not right. This is the wrong class. Hold on, let me go to the syllabus and take a look at it. For sure, I know that we have to tie our research project to this book, right? We have to connect it. So when I talk about the research project, I will also clarify what I meant by tying it together. So, okay. So for this class, I only have the research project tied to the sympathizer here on the syllabus. So at West Valley, when I teach the same curriculum, the same syllabus over there for English 1A, we are doing the midterm and the final exam. Since Evergreen has already a departmental final exam, we're not doing the final and the midterm with the sympathizer here. So, but keep reading the sympathizer and start thinking about a potential research topic. So why don't I talk to you about that now, since I've just mentioned the research paper or the research project. So under week 5 modules, you can find this page. This is an FYI or informational content page. To meet our stated SLO student learning objective, we need to do a research project, and I chose the sympathizer because one, the author Viet Thanh Nguyen is gonna be here in San Jose on October 18th. Two, the sympathizer has everything that we need for to meet our goals, and 3, I simply like it. So we're doing the sympathizer. And when you come up with a topic, it could be anything actually that you personally connect to. But when you do your research proposal, you're gonna state how there's gonna be another assignment page put up next week for you to look at when we do the topic proposal. It's just a way for, it's just another fancy way of saying, having you write up a one page, right, sort of like, this is what I'm gonna do for my research. So it's a page that tells me what topic you've decided to follow. Okay, so some of the examples connected to the sympathizer can simply be, espionage, spy work, right? Being a spy and everything. And because the narrator of the sympathizer is a spy, then another topic could literally be the Vietnam War, and how it affects America, the U.S. So you can also, obviously, you can also research on the inequity and inequalities in Hollywood, how they're just casting white actors and actresses, and they cast the wrong people for the wrong roles. So that's gender issues and inequalities. I think, but choose a topic that you are deeply interested in. Like you can choose to continue your controversial issue, but you're gonna need to find somehow and way and form to connect that research topic to the sympathizer. Okay, so you can altogether select a new topic for the research project, or you can somehow modify your controversial issue so that it can accommodate the connection to the sympathizer. Okay, do you have any question on that? Or is everything clear so far?
So what we gonna do about the research project?
Now, we're gonna do 5 parts to this project. The first part is next week, when I put up the topic proposal assignment page, you follow the instructions on that page to type out your proposal. Okay, so to write up your proposal. So that's gonna be roughly about a page, and then I'll also give you a student a student sample on this. So then you can then what my previous students did for the proposal. So that's the first step, and then the second step is you create. The second part is you create the annotated works edit. So that's the second step that we take after the proposal. And then, so then this probably gonna be 2 weeks after the proposal is graded. Okay, and then we work on the annotated works edit for that week. So this is probably gonna be week 8 or 9. So this is week 6. This is week 8 or 9, and then we write an argumentative / persuasive essay without the research. So this part is going to be roughly about week 10. I would say week 10 that we do this part, and then this is going to be about 4 to 5 pages double spaced. The research paper without the research. Okay, so then the part after that is we're making an oral presentation, but because you guys are meeting online, you just need to prepare a presentation file. Like you can use PowerPoint, you can use Prezi or Google Slides, and you just create that presentation without delivering it. You just turn it in. You just submit it, your PowerPoint, your presentation slide, whatever that you choose to do. So the presentation is intended for you to try out how to integrate, how to add your research facts and statistics and quotes and whatever you have that you got from your research, how to build that into your research paper without the research. So that altogether you can then create your final draft of the research paper, okay? And that final draft is going to be roughly about 8.5 pages to 10 pages long. And that is your final draft with the research. Okay, so we're doing step-by-step project like that. Okay, and so at every step, I will provide guidance and instructions and student samples and even what was the other one I was going to say? A demonstration. So for now, you just need to look at this and read this page and understand and be thinking about which topic for you to research on.
I got it. Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. So that's the research project that we have to do throughout the whole semester, and we're going to start next week with the research proposal. Journal number 4 is up for this week, and it should be on required readings for week 4, right? So we're doing a journal every week. Then we are doing the letter to the editor, which is about a page long. Let me open that up. This test description, this assignment test description tells you exactly what to do and how to do it, including a template. So first, I've already explained this last week, but just so that you are not confused, the first thing you do is you get an editorial article. Okay, so if the New York Times doesn't work, if the New York Times doesn't give you any access, I'm gonna try now. Okay, see if it can. Then you can choose Google, but go to the New York Times first, and you go to the opinion section up here, opinion. Okay, then go to editorials. Once you go there, then you can click on this search field, and then type in your controversial issue. So I would try out homelessness first. This is my choice, right? So I'm gonna do homelessness. And then I'm gonna do sort by relevance. I'm gonna click on relevant and do newest. And then this editorial is about the housing authority, how they're cutting budgets to close access to many people. So this is in May this year, so it's recent enough. So I could definitely choose this article if I were to do homelessness as my controversial topic. Okay. So then once I've chosen an article, click on it, and I didn't even log in or anything. So I guess the New York Times opinion section does give you or give anybody free access to the articles here. Okay, so but one of the students in this class emailed me saying that New York Times requires you to subscribe to be able to access their editorial articles. But from this is the second time I'm looking on here, and it seems like I can access this. So maybe perhaps he did not go to the right section, so he just did the general search. Now, if you do the general search like this, it's going to give you a lot of different articles, but in fact, all you need is just the editorials, okay? So you have to go to sections and then opinion and then editorials so that you can access this search field and then type in.
You
Yeah.
may have the overpopulation. Yeah. And
Well, the most recent you got on the New York Times is 2013. So you're gonna need to find a more recent one. So 13 is too long ago, and we want something within the last 2 years. The more current, the better. Okay. So one or two things you can do is you can redefine your search term, right? So maybe not overpopulation, but something else related to it. Like maybe try another keyword.
explore population.
Population explosion. Let's see.
Wow.
Yeah, this one is well, but this is sentencing reform. This one is affordable housing for retirees. So I guess it does deal with your topic a little bit.
Yeah.
2015 is within the last 2 years, so you can choose this one if you want to, or if you want to find more even recent ones, then maybe you can try editorial on Google and overpopulation and 2017. See if you can find any more recent ones. Well, this one is on the Washington Post. And this is an editorial. Okay, so because it falls under opinions. So you can choose this one if you like. It doesn't have to be the New York Times. You can respond to this article, to this opinion article or editorial. Okay?
Okay.
That's another choice. And this one is on the New York Times, but I'm not sure if it's an editorial or not. Well, no, this one's okay too. This one is it's under opinion. It is not editorial, but still you can respond to it. Anything under opinion section, you can write about it. Okay, so this is okay for you too. So so those are two choices. Okay,
Thank you.
sure, no problem. So after you've selected your editorial, then you need to read it well so you can understand it. I've suggested annotation always works. So you should annotate your editorial article. Then write a short summary, like 2 sentences or 1 sentence, so that you can put it here in the first paragraph. Okay, even though there's nothing in this template that says that you should include a summary. All you need to do is reference in the title of the editorial article, name of the publication, and date it appear. But to make it even clearer, you should provide your own understanding of the article here, okay, in the first paragraph, and then follow what it says here for the rest of the article, for the rest of the letter template, and then write your letter. And you do need to complete an outline for your pre-write, and your outline. You do need to include it. This template doesn't include the pre-write, but for your pre-write, you can simply just write a short paragraph telling us or telling me how you got your editorial article. Okay, so you can write like, I started to to search for my editorial article on the New York Times but I couldn't find anything there. So I went to Google and I found this article and I chose it because it matches with my topic and it looks interesting and everything. So that would be your pre-write, a short paragraph on how you found the article. And then you should create an outline like this, okay? Like this student sample here. And then before you can include your draft. This is Brian's letter. So you have access to this. This thread is for when you submit your final draft. However, we're working on peer workshop, and participating in this peer workshop enables you to get 20 out of 40 points on this discussions assignment. So there is, oh, I haven't included. I just realized that I need to include the handout. Hold on. Just seems very similar to what we did to with the personal essay. Oh, here it is. So I meant to include this article, these questions as part of that, but let me do that now. So upload your first draft by tomorrow, by Friday, so that I can pair people. I can pair you with another person. Very similar to the personal essay peer editing. So let me add this. Use this peer review template and respond to it for after I gave you. Okay, so hold on, let me add that. So then I noticed that 2 people have posted, and let's see if I could pair them. Christopher and Jose will be paired, okay? Christopher and Jose, please peer review each other's letter. Okay, at least two of you have posted, so I appreciate that. But you have until Friday, tomorrow, to post your draft. And let's look at Jose's draft. Yeah, Jose has included an outline and then his draft. Okay, so that he's following directions well. So looking good there, and Christopher is missing the, I'm gonna let him know. Oh, he has included at the end his outline. So be sure that you follow Christopher and Jose's footstep by not only posting your first draft of the letter, but also your outline together in one document like that.
What about the pre-write?
The pre-write, that's a good question. They haven't done that, right? So in their responses, they haven't done that. So they should do it. So let me modify this and tell them thank you for that. By the way, I don't see, well, no, let's talk about the positive first. Your work shows both the draft and the outline, which aligns well with the instructions. Kudos. However, I don't see your pre-write, so please Also include a short paragraph indicating how and why you chose that editorial article. Okay. So copy, include this in my response to Jose as well. So okay, so be sure that that you also include that short paragraph. It doesn't have to be that long. It just be 2 sentences, 3 sentences, and that will work for your pre-write. Thanks for catching that. Okay, so back to the discussions forum. We'll write in a reflection on your personal essay writing experience. Trying to do a reflection after a major assignment so that you can distill your takeaways and then be able to deepen your understanding and learning. So choose any 3 of these bullets to respond to. Again, it could just be a short answer response. It doesn't have to be elaborate, but at least responding to them enables you to think about reflecting on your personal essay. And then the discussion questions, we have 2 parts to this task. First is the on writing well, and then the question is asking you why we should write short paragraphs. And then Zinzer talks about on writing well. Okay, on writing well, we are looking at chapter 8 and 9. And so far, if you haven't looked at part 1 with the first 7 chapters, now's your chance to look at these chapters again. And in the first 9 chapters, Zinzer, the author, is telling us that we should write shorter paragraphs. Okay, and we should use effective paragraph structure, and don't lengthen our paragraph so long that it covers the whole page. So this is what I got from reading these chapters. So roughly a paragraph should be about half a page long, or even this long, okay? But it is packed full of information. So to write a short paragraph is actually harder than to write a long paragraph. Okay. So, but he's Zinzer, the author, is going to tell us why, and you need to read the chapter 8 and 9 to find out. So that question, then ask that question: why we should write short paragraphs? And how does Zinzer suggest that we end an essay? Okay, so that's another question that you can find from looking at this book, especially chapter 8 and 9. What is the importance of integrity of a nonfiction writer? Integrity, another word, loose translation for loose as synonym for this word is honesty, right? A professional honesty of a fiction that writes for a writer that writes nonfiction. Nonfiction is news articles and things that are not made up, things that are reported, right? So the personal essay is considered nonfiction. The letter to the editor is nonfiction. Everything we write for this class is nonfiction. Okay? 1B is when you deal with fiction and poetry and drama. But 1A, we primarily focus on nonfiction. However, The Sympathizer is a work of fiction. That means it's a novel. However, the events in this novel are real, are based on real events, but it is made up. There's no such thing as the spy narrator in the Sympathizer. Okay? But the events that the narrator and the author of the Sympathizer refers to, which is the Vietnam War, that is real, right? It is based on a historical event. So So yeah, that's the distinction between nonfiction and fiction there. And then the other part is discussing the significance of the title, The Sympathizer. Why is it called The Sympathizer? And another loose synonym for sympathizer is spy, right? Somebody who works as a spy, but who sympathizes with the other side of sympathizes with the enemy. Okay? So as you should know by this time that the narrator, who is not named in this novel, right? We don't know what his name is, but he's writing a confession, and that documents everything in his life up until the point that he got captured and got imprisoned, and forced by a commandant to write his confession in this book that we read. So we're reading his point of view, his confession, and in many parts of the book up until chapter 8, he indicates that he has a lot of sympathy for his enemies, which is the employer side that he works for, the general of the South Vietnamese Army or the South Vietnam, right? But he works for the North Vietnamese VC Army. Right? His real employer is whatever organization that that gather sensitive information, like top secret information for strategic planning for the North Vietnamese Army, which explains very partially explain how the North Vietnamese Army took over the South in 1975, which was when the fall of Saigon occurred in April, right? In April of 1975. So looking back, then the significance of the title, you can realize that it deals with espionage or spy work, right? Being a spy or working for secret services, whatever, like the CIA or the CIA. And then, but also at the same time, being able to see your enemy suffering and be sympathetic to their conditions. So that's why I think that's majority why the title is like that. But if you have other insights into the significance of the title, you can also put that down in your discussion response. Does that make sense?
I don't understand the question number 2.
Okay. How does the protagonist mix parentage, meaning the narrator, right? The protagonist is the narrator. Okay, so this narrator telling us his story. He has his dad is not Vietnamese. Okay, his dad is not Vietnamese. His mom is Vietnamese, and so he's a mixed blood. He calls himself Euro-Asian. So his dad came from France. Actually, he's a French priest. So he also was not a dad. Okay, he was a monster, as you found out if you read up to this point. Okay, so that made him an outsider. Okay, because he was not accepted as he was grown up by his mom's family. His dad already rejected him, right? So he continued to be outside. And that, that forced him to develop a dual nature. And then he has, of course, then divided loyalty. That means that he was loyal to a certain degree to the general. His, on the surface, his, quote unquote, employer he works for, right? He's the assistant to the general. However, his His other half of loyalty belongs to his real employer, which is his the spy organization he works for, and Man or Meng is working with him with that organization. Okay, so that's divided loyalty.
Okay, got it.
The novel takes the form of a long confession written by the narrator in prison. How effective is this approach? What quandaries does it raise regarding truth and coercion? Quandaries are, those problems that have no solutions, dead ends. And quandaries is another word for dead ends. That means you are facing, all these problems that there's no solution to them, or there are no easy solutions to any of them problems. Does it raise regarding truth and coercion? Coercion is being forced to do something. Okay, so being forced by mentally oppression or even physical oppression, right? So he's stuck in the middle, the narrator. So think about that question as you read the book, and then write a short response to it.
Okay, thank you.
The Great Debaters is a movie, and these are the real Wiley College debating team. This movie is a work of fiction, but it is based on a factual historical timeline. So it captures the pre-movement, the pre-civil rights movement. So this is before Martin Luther King Jr. During the segregation period. Okay, so you don't know any of that, watching the movie could help you understand more. But this was the time in the dark time in the U.S. history where the Black and the South were treated unfairly and inequitably, meaning that the Black did not go to the same school as the white. Okay, so they didn't get to use the same toilet or go to the same restaurant. So they were segregated. They were separated. Okay. So then this Wiley debate team, Wiley College, through debate. If you don't know what debate is when two people debate on an important issue, a controversial issue, and then they argue, verbally with each other, right? But then they do it in a formal way. So debating becomes extremely important to them, because if they win a debate, they can get recognition and prestige and get noticed by the major institutions like Harvard. Decisions, and these institutions are historically preparing its graduates to become world leaders. For example, President Obama graduated from one of these institutions, right? As well as most of the presidents of the US. So these Ivy League schools or institutions prepare people to be later on to be world leaders. So it's very important that a small college like Wiley College to get noticed by these big institutions so that they can debate, and if they win a debate with some place like Harvard, they have more say and more power. They have more recognition and everything. So that's why this historical event became sort of like the grassroots movement for the civil rights movement later on with Martin Luther King. Okay. So this movie then becomes important for us to watch, not only for our education on the segregation era and the civil rights movement later on, it is also preparing us for argumentative essay to write a persuasive argumentative essay. And as you know, the research paper is actually an argumentative paper. Okay, so we'll write in an argument backed up by our research topic, backed up by research facts and statistics and things that we learn from doing research to help stabilize and enhance our argument. Okay, so watching this movie and answering and having a discussion on it through this handout will deepen our understanding of the argumentative essay or argumentation, the art of rhetoric, all of that good stuff. So that's that's week 5 discussions forum. The movie is more than 2 hours long, so you should dedicate some time to watch it. It's very enjoyable. It's not that bad. Denzel Washington is in it. You watched it already. Please watch it again with the handout in mind, right? So look at the questions on the handout first before you watch it, or you can look at the questions while you watch the movie so that you can answer these questions. Any question on that task?
Not yet.
Okay. So that would be it for this week. Again, another heavy week. Week 6 is gonna be just as heavy. So I highly recommend to tackle your assignments one by one and not all together at once, like on Sunday evening. If you cram and procrastinate, you won't be able to retain much of what you did. So remember for a long time what you did, right? So so learning becomes more challenging if you procrastinate, as you know already. So maybe take journal 1 today, and then maybe tomorrow when you have some time, work on the letter, and then when you have time on Saturday, work on the other tasks of the discussions forum. So time management is crucial in this class as well. What can I help you with? Is there anything else that I can help you with at this point?
I think not yet, but when we do homework, we will figure out.
When is that? When are you going to do your homework? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I will end the meeting now and go to my sub-in assignment. Somebody asked me to sub. So good luck with your assignments, and thanks for responding to my questions. And at any time, please reach out to me, and I'll try my best to help. Okay, take care.
Yeah, thank you.